The SEC Chair Gary Gensler joins us this morning in a first on CNBC interview. Chair Gensler, it's great to have you back. Welcome.
It's good to be with you, sir.
We've had you on several times, and we've tried to get from you a sense of timing when there would be more clarity regarding this space. It feels like now's that moment.
Look, I think there's been clarity for years. The investing public has the benefit of the U.S. securities laws. Crypto should be no different. And these platforms, these intermediaries need to come into compliance and protect the investing public.
Which of the cases we're talking about, do you want to take them one by one? Which is more important in your view?
You're leading this interview. I'm going to follow you where you are. But let me just say this to the investing public. These trading platforms, they call themselves exchanges, are commingling a number of functions which in traditional finance, we don't see the New York Stock Exchange also operating a hedge fund, making markets, and as we alleged in Binance, having a sister organization, flooding the platform with transactions called wash trading, and the lack of controls on the platforms is really a web of deception and conflicts, along with a control person, Mr. Zhao, trying to evade U.S. law.
And given the timeline we're talking about, what do you say to viewers who wonder why enforcement has taken, arguably, at least several years, so long?
Look, it takes time. We do things by the book. That's what the American public would want us to do. We follow the facts and the law. And I couldn't be more proud of the investigative teams at the SEC working together with colleagues in our various divisions of trading and markets, our general counsel's office, 5 commissioners. But it really, it's a lot of, a gumshoe, walk in the beat investigation to build a case like what you've seen alleged in a 136-page complaint.
Mr. Chairman, a lot of it is hard to understand. For instance, in the Binance complaint, you say, Mr. Chairman, I need to know this, the SEC's Binance complaint also seeks emergency relief, like an asset freeze, expedited discovery, and even the appointment of a receiver. Are there more pleadings coming? Because if you do this, that's the end of Binance.
Look, we have concerns, and I think the investing public should be aware of putting their hard-earned assets onto these platforms. But we have concerns when a platform like this puts themselves out to the public, is consciously trying to evade U.S. law and customer funds. You didn't even know who was custodying them. Was it custodied here in the U.S. on the U.S. platform? Was it custodied overseas? Or were some of your funds in crypto possibly moved to affiliates? There are a number of affiliates named in this called Merit Peak and Sigma Chain. It's fundamentally a lack of controls, deception, conflicts. And yes, we're going to do that which we can in front of the courts and make, to the extent we can, the facts known and the public protected.
All right, when I read your Binance, I cannot understand how anyone can assign a value to crypto. It seems entirely predicated on the greater fool theory. Do you disagree?
Look, we as an agency are meant to be merit neutral, Jim. There's a lot of question. There's 10 to 20,000 tokens. Actually, in the Coinbase complaint, we note that they have, through the Coinbase wallet, you can trade 16,000 different tokens. And there's a lot of debate as to the use cases and whether there's any there. Look, we don't need more digital currency. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar. It's called the euro. It's called the yen. They're all digital right now. We already have digital investments. And you have entrepreneurs representing digital investments on this program all day long. And it's whether it's the big tech companies, the automobile companies, you name it. It's all digital right now, the investing world. So what is the real underlying value of these tokens? And that's why you need full, fair, and truthful disclosures. And that's the regime the securities laws was set up. When there's a group of entrepreneurs, those entrepreneurs should be able to put their case in front of the investing public in what's called a filing. That's kind of the bedrock of what President Roosevelt and Congress worked on 90 years ago.
Chair Gensler, it's David. Can you characterize at all what, if any, I would assume there have been many conversations through time with Coinbase, between the SEC and Coinbase. Can you characterize, did you ever get close? Have you ever sort of gotten close to getting them to accede to your wishes? I would assume, obviously, given the complaint, they didn't quite get there. But can you give our viewers any sense as to what's happened to get to this point?
Look, I'm not going to go into any one set of conversations between the agency and a company, but we've had discussions with literally dozens of crypto incumbents, including the ones that you just mentioned. And what we find is this is a field that's built. The whole business model is built on non-compliance with the U.S. securities laws. And we're asking them to come into compliance, and they're going a bit of catch us if you can. That's a sort of generalization. And they're commingling various functions that traditional finance we don't allow. I mean, the public would be aghast if they thought the New York Stock Exchange was also running a hedge fund trading against them, or allowing wash trading, or lacked controls to protect against fraud and manipulation on the platform. And so the conversations have been constructive, but it's also about them bringing a business model into compliance. We have had success. There is, even in the last 2 weeks, an entity filed as a crypto entity filed as what's called a special purpose broker dealer and got registered that way. We've had successes with tokens, but now it's about these crypto exchanges in the middle of the market where, frankly, the public should really be careful.